In this video, we will talk primarily about resilience from the perspective of the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. To get in context, we will start by talking about the protagonist called Chris. This man lives in San Francisco with his wife and son. When Chris and his wife got married, they invested all their savings in medical devices. The people who advised them promised that their business was very profitable. It consisted about bulk and retail sale in which they will obtain a good amount of money. At the end, this product turned out to be very expensive and unnecessary to the main clients, which in this case were hospitals and doctors. Despite this, Chris never gave up. He applied for a job more than once in a prestigious company to be trained and to achieve his dream as a stockbroker. For him to accomplish this, he had to dedicate a lot of effort and time, which was scarce for him. Surprisingly, he was able to obtain the positions he applied to. 20 persons had applied for the job and Chris got the only vacancy. Chris showed us that everything is possible if we pursue what we want. It is clear that we must be constant and work hard to achieve our goals and dreams. The most simple thing is to let everything and give up. But the difficult part is to overcome and solve the hardest problems. We choose this movie because it shows a great example of resilience and courage. It's a reflection of one of the strongest internal drives we have, hope and the desire to overcome challenge. We must consider and recognize that as human beings we have passed through various global difficulties in our story. The current COVID-19 virus has impacted to the society in a very negative way. In these difficult moments, we must demonstrate the resilience that human beings can manage in face of the worst adversities. We must be positive in this regard and get the best of it. We just cannot let ourselves fall, and as a society, we must support each other by the means we can. Because when we think that we're having a bad time, we just need to look around and be thankful for what we have.
Difficult times, and many people are very tense and anxious. But according to the psychologist Meg Jay, any problem in life has a solution. No matter how difficult you seem the situation, there will always be a way out. All people have resilience. For example, in the movie In Search of Happiness, it is clearly seen that Chris Garnett, played by Will Smith, doesn't wait for a situation to fix itself. Of course, he lives with uncertainty and stress of not finding a job, but take action and make your way. This pandemic is generating great change for you personally and professionally. In addition to this, is a great economic crisis has developed that is getting gross and gross. According to British consultants Vicky Redgold, governments shouldn't allow companies to close and lay off their workers, but they can both resist fiscal budgets if the situation has not improved, but it was certainly been a great measure to avoid the collapse. The immediate action that we will take to avoid a major crisis after the pandemic are: first, to encourage domestic consumption to reactive the national economy. Second, approve support to the PIMES to preserve the labor force and national production. And finally, both infrastructure as a trigger for employment and the industry in general. These are the actions taken by us that will certainly make a big change.
First of all, the most important immediate post-pandemic action is that we need to go on and try to stay positive in this particular situation. For some people, this is hard because they lost their jobs or someone they love, and they could be going through depression. The action we need to take is to support them, to be there for them, and show them the bright side of this situation. It is not going to be easy as it sounds, but we can try some actions that might make these people or us feel better. As a woman on the video said, we need to focus on good things and stop thinking about negative ones. Also, we should be grateful for everything positive that happens in our lives. And to do that, we can write down 3 good things that happen in our day. It could be anything, like eating a delicious meal, or that we are not sick, and that we have a roof over our heads and a bed to sleep on. Everything counts. This helps us to be more grateful and to stay positive, to be more resilient. Another important action is to be proactive, to try some new activities like painting or doing furniture, or reading that book we didn't have to read in our normal schedule, or start meditating, exercising, etc. Being active helps us not to think about negative things, and also we develop more abilities. Using Dickens' phrase, I think the message we wanted to say is that each period of time in society we are always some bad moments and positive ones. We should appreciate the good ones and take out the most of it, and to overcome the bad ones. Remember to always be grateful and stay positive.
These days, people have been going through difficult situations arising from the current COVID-19 pandemic. The situations that society is going through today are serious, as they are running out of jobs, money, security, and above all, health. This situation is serious, and it is here that you have to show resilience to people and with yourself in order to cope with this current pandemic. On the other hand, we can take as a great example Lucy Hone, because she speaks in the TED Talk about resilience and the 3 steps to take so that everything in your life just flow more simply and happily. That is why it's important to keep these 3 steps in mind and of course know the real meaning of them. The 3 steps or strategies about bringing resilience into your life are: 1. Resilient people get that shit happens. This is like people know that suffering is just part of your life. 2. Resilient people are very good at choosing carefully where they select their attention. Number 3. Turning into the good and accept it. The perfect example of all of this is the current pandemic. How you can apply these 3 strategies of a resilient person to your life. It's not quite simple, but if you try to do it step by step, you can see the result in a short time or on a short time. An example could be that you have some loss because of COVID. In this case, it's not something that is up to you, but it makes you feel bad. And that's when you have to decide if you are going to let this affect you for a long time, or just you can help to improve the situation starting with your attitude in the position of a bad situation. In addition to this, as Charles Dickens says, it might be the worst time of your life, or maybe it's the best time of your life, but the most important thing is having some hope and know that it's worth it and the things that it's not. Personally, I think that society has gone through several changes over time, both good things and bad things, but the important thing here is to be resilient and know what decisions to make for your own and that for others to bring them some kind of good in their lives and in your life.